y'all, it's Victoria, and we are here for the 12th day of the 12 days of Kitschmas. That's right, this is the final video in the installment of the series that I've been doing the whole month of December. And guess what today is? January 1st, 2021. We have made it to a new year. Technically, the 12th day of Christmas ends on January 5th, but we make our own rules with the 12 days of Kitschmas. And so today is our final installment where I am going to show you my entire collection of vintage Christmas. If you've been following along, thank you so much. But if you're new, let me catch you up. So each day in my 12 Days of Kitschmas series, I told you the history of a vintage Christmas decoration and shared with you pieces from my personal collection. Today, I'm going to show you all of my collection. So if you'd like to see all of my Christmas collectibles, then stick around. So if this is your first video that you're watching of ours, we are Super Geeked, where we celebrate all the things we get super geeked about. I get super geeked about mid-century modern and vintage Christmas collectibles. And one of my largest collections is my Christmas. So I decided to do this series called the 12 Days of Kitschmas, inspired by viewers here on YouTube who commented when I picked up some vintage inspired pieces that they didn't realize that these Christmas decorations were actually inspired by real vintage pieces. So thank you for being my inspiration. And I have had so much fun going through the history of each of these collectibles. So if you haven't seen those videos, be sure to check them out. But today I'm showing you all of my collectibles. So I do have a large amount of mid-century modern vintage Christmas. I do have some older vintage Christmas, and I do have vintage inspired and modern pieces. I actually have two Christmas trees in my home. The first you saw on my day 4 of the 12 Days of Kitschmas when I talked about the aluminum Christmas tree. You got to see my beautiful evergleam, but I also have an artificial green tree that is modern. It's pre-lit, and I put all of my family ornaments on that tree. So I'm going to share with you that tree. And then also I have some other collectibles that you did not see in the series, including family heirlooms and pieces that I've just picked up over the years. So I'm very excited to share with you all of my vintage Christmas decorations. And be sure you stick around to the end because I am going to show pictures of my house throughout the years at Christmas time. I normally, pre-pandemic, host a large Christmas party every year. We call it during the days of Mad Men, when Mad Men was airing, we called it our Mad Men Christmas party, but it really is a vintage inspired Christmas. And everyone dresses up either 50s or 60s, and it's a lot of fun. So you'll get to see pictures of that. But most of all, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting our channel and watching all these videos. I cannot wait to share with you more mid-century modern in 2021. So let's get into those Kitschmas decorations, and happy 12th day of Kitschmas. So we're starting out the tour with my pride and joy. That is my aluminum Christmas tree. She is the star of the show, and if you watched day 4 of the 12 Days of Kitschmas, you saw her then. She is an evergleam pom-pom tree. And you can tell she's a pom-pom by her branches, the way that they shoot out. They do have the crinkled aluminum, so it maximizes light reflection and makes her even more special. You can see my ornaments. We talked about some of these ornaments in the other 12 Days of Kitschmas. We talked about shiny brights. We talked about mercury glass, and I have a nice mix of both modern and vintage. The icicles you see, the blue ones, are my favorites. I have them in a large and a small size. Unfortunately, one of the smaller ones got broken this year, as I have 2 young boys who are rough to say the least. I did a lot of screaming when anybody came close to my tree, more of like a yelp. but I like the nice mix of glass, and I tend to choose jewel tones and pastels. That is my color theme. There is my color wheel, and there's my Holly Time color wheel box, and my Evergleam aluminum Christmas tree box, where you can see the aluminum sleeves. The aluminum branches fit nicely in those and protect the aluminum for years to come. Obviously it has lasted. And it shows you that this is a 6-foot Christmas tree. I feel very fortunate to still have the box. It definitely has seen better days though, but still happy to have it. And then another glance back at the beautiful tree. You will notice that some of them are really nice ornaments and some of them are sort of distressed, and I really like that. I like the crackling and the aging. I think it makes them even more special. And then this is my mini aluminum Christmas tree. I believe this is the 2-foot. I do not have the box for this anymore. Someone purchased it for me at a garage sale, but it is also a pom-pom. Although the pom-poms are not as good a shape, I do still have the sleeves, so I do try to protect them, but one day I might try to repair them. And then here is a close-up of some of those ornaments on my aluminum tree. That's my Disco Santa. I always put him at the top. I don't like a star up there. I just like glitter Santa. That's a Shiny Bright there. That's one of my favorites. It is a newer Shiny Bright. And then I really like these small glass ones that belong to my great-grandmother, and these pink Starburst are so cool. I believe I got those at Target a few years ago. Those are new ornaments. They came from Target. This is a Shiny Bright. They're pine cone, and I have a bunch of those. You can also see these aluminum ornaments. Those belong to my great-grandmother. And here's another one right there with some Shiny Brights as a backdrop. And that is a newer Shiny Bright. I like all the different colors and styles. There's an old Shiny Bright. I like how scratched up it is. Really, really neat. You can see one of my pixies or knee hugger elves back there, and of course my favorite icicles. Love to show them off and love the crackling on those. And there's another one. And of course they all crackle different, so that makes them even more cool. You can see my knee hugger elf, and there's another Shiny Bright with the indented mirrored effect. And another one, very similar. This is an old Shiny Bright. And another one. Those little ones with the Starburst are actually new, and they're actually plastic, believe it or not, but I have them in several different jewel tone colors, and then orange. I wouldn't really say orange would be a jewel tone, but I do like those. And that's sort of like a teardrop shape with the indented mirror. I just like the different styles and mixing them. And of course every year they look a little different because I don't always stagger them the same. That's just sort of showing you the effect. I also like the sound of the aluminum. Just another glance around the tree. There's another one that the finish is messed up. Now the ones that are purple and green and gold will stay on the tree for Mardi Gras. We do decorate. It's a tradition down south that we do decorate. That's an old Shiny Bright there. So you will see a lot of Southerners, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, some of coastal Florida, and they will leave their Christmas trees up and then decorate them for the Mardi Gras season. It's just tradition, and then they will come down when we start Lent. And this is to show you what it looks like when the color wheel is on and the lights are out. It really is so pretty. The camera doesn't even capture how beautiful it is. It's really ethereal and magical and just totally different than any other tree experience. Although I do like a traditional tree. I just seriously am in love with this aluminum tree. And of course you can see why I put these shiny ornaments on it, because they reflect that color wheel so beautifully. And they change color with the color wheel. And now onto the ceramic trees. Here's my white one that if you saw from the 12 Days of Kitschmas, I do have a collection of ceramic trees. This one is vintage and was made by my great aunt Pat. I chose jewel tone lights to put on it to match my other decor. You can also see my vintage inspired fawns or deer, and some glass Christmas trees that I have that are family heirlooms. And then also you can see those bottle brush trees and a music box that I'm going to show you a little bit closer. If you watched the whole 12 Days of Kitschmas series, you saw those pink bottle brush trees. I picked those up from Target this year. Also the fawns, I got 4 of those from Hobby Lobby. And then there's some shiny brights out front to finish the look. And my vintage Santa. He is a music box and he is a Lefton, and he had belonged to my grandmother and was passed down from my mom to me. Here is another set up of some bottle brush trees. The mint and blue ones I got at Target this year. The white ones with the glittery ornaments I got at Target probably about 6 years ago. But again, they were featured in the 12 Days of Kitschmas, so if you didn't watch the video on the bottle brush trees, go check it out. Very interesting on how they came to be. Also in the 12 Days of Kitschmas series were my ceramic Christmas trees. The mint one I picked up this year at Walmart, and the pink one I picked up at Marshall. So these are both vintage inspired, and they're different from the regular ceramic trees because they do take batteries and the lights do not come out. But I think they're really cool because they have a timer you can put the lights on, and that's very helpful since it's battery operated. And then also they're next to my Jolly Metal Santa that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. He's got those cute blinky lights. I need to go back and see if they have any left now that I'm sure Christmas has gone deeply discounted. And I want to grab him before they're all gone because he's so cute. I just love his face. But I'm so glad that they still make these vintage inspired pieces because they fit right in with the rest of my actual vintage decorations. You can see some of my Christmas cards up there also. And then another ceramic tree. This one was made in the 70s by my mother. It's actually a very collectible mold. And so I'm excited to have this. It's different than my other ceramic trees. I do put little birds and a butterfly along with the regular lights. Here is the divider between my living room and my dining room. You can see we have a little mistletoe hanging on that bell. My kids love that. They try to kiss us every time we walk under there, and it's really cute. But you can kind of get a glimpse of the top of my other Christmas tree. I want you to remember these candy drops. This divider, this actual piece of garland, I got at Sam's, believe it or not, probably about 15 years ago. And there's a matching piece that goes to it that has the gumdrops and the shiny ornaments on it. And that's this piece over here. This video is actually from a couple years ago because I forgot to film this. But that is a centerpiece that matches it, and I do use it on my coffee table. At least that's where it was this year. This year it was on the other piece of furniture. And then through the room divider, we go into the dining room. I hang these glass icicle ornaments from my chandelier. And they're really delicate and pretty. They would never be able to hang on either of my Christmas trees because I'm sure that they would get broken. But they look extra special hanging on the chandelier, reflecting the light, and I just love them right there. And then you can sort of get a glimpse of my other Christmas tree, which I will show you close up in just a minute. And this has all the family ornaments on it. There is my white ceramic tree lit up with the other decor around it. So cute. I just love that tree so much. I love the white with the green base. I love that my Aunt Pat did that. It makes it even more special that she made it. And just a little peek of the aluminum tree over there with the color wheel light on. And then we are going to sweep into the dining room with all the lights on. As the sun was starting to go down, you can kind of see how magical it really looks. And then we're heading back into the dining room. And the chandelier, even more pretty as it starts to get darker outside. Do y'all feel that way about Christmas lights? I mean, they just are so special. And then moving over here on the buffet in the dining room is a manger scene that was made by my stepfather's aunt, my great aunt Ruth. And it is very special. She hand painted all of these. Back behind the manger is the Christmas tree that my mother made, and you can see it all lit up with the birds. I just thought it really went really well with the manger. But I loved the muted tones that she used. But even more special, she put these little rhinestones on Jesus and the wise men and one of the camels, and it just adds some extra sparkle that we love at the holiday time, and it really reflects the lights and makes it even more special. And then this is a wreath that belonged to my grandmother. It's from the 50s. It has little presents on it and pine cones and fruit. And it is made out of plastic, but fits right in with the rest of my decor. So I was excited to inherit that from her. And here is our family tree, the more traditional tree. And you can see it's sort of a hodgepodge of ornaments. There's ornaments that reflect where we live. There are ornaments for my children. There are heirloom ornaments. All kinds of special ornaments on this tree, and the kids really love decorating it because it really is about our family. This is kind of scanning. You'll see some pictures of my kids, a few glass ornaments. That's my husband and I on our 10-year wedding anniversary. And the school my grandmother went to, that's our first Christmas ornament. This ornament placement's special because this little ornament reminds me of my friend Joanna that passed away. She was a musician, and this was the ornament they gave away at her funeral. You'll see some firefighter stuff because my husband is a firefighter. The angel at the top. There's some wooden ornaments, some felt ornaments. There's vintage ornaments that remind me of my childhood. There are glass ornaments that were given to us. There are ornaments that were made for my kids or that my kids made for us. There's even an ornament for my alma mater, Mississippi State, Hail State. There's some more pictures of the family. Just a really nice mix of ornaments on this tree. And although the aluminum Christmas tree I call my pride and joy, this tree is very special also because it is just a mixture of the whole family. So it represents all of us, including BB-8 and Darth Vader, a little bit of Batman. There's some Scooby-Doo and some Snoopy. Betty Boop. I picked her up at the bins last year, actually. And here are some ornaments I just wanted to point out. This is from the year that we got married. And there are a lot of wooden ornaments on this tree that I inherited when my grandmother passed away a couple Christmases ago. This is a wooden Santa that I bought her when I was in high school that I got back when she passed away. These are some wooden ornaments that were made in Argentina that she gave me. And there's a whole collection of them. There's one. They're hand painted. And there's another one. And then there's these little sweaters I think are so cute that my godmother made my sons. There are my kiddos. Love those pictures of them. Of course, there's that 10-year anniversary photo. And another picture of the family. Here's a motorcycle that my son got my husband from school when he was 3. He picked it out himself. I don't know why my husband doesn't ride motorcycles, but we thought it was so cute we kept it. And it kind of makes me giggle. This was given to me by Rachel at Super Geeked, and she gave it to us a couple Christmases ago. It's Minnie Mouse. Of course, we have a little train, and you have to have a Saints ornament. We are New Orleans Saints fans. There's my alma mater again with another one of those wooden ornaments and a vintage Santa from my childhood. There's another one of those wooden Santas that I gave my parents in high school, and my mother gave it back to me when I got the other one. This was made by a Mississippi potter. It's in the shape of Mississippi with the magnolia flower. I love that ornament. And then a hand-painted ornament of the Biloxi Lighthouse where we live on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. That is like our beacon. There's the church that we go to that we got married in. Very special to us. And over here is the school that's behind it that my grandmother went to school in and my grandparents helped to renovate, that we now use as like a parish life center. So those two buildings are very special. This is a shrimp boat. We have a big shrimping industry here. There is the fire engine because my husband is a firefighter. And there's also a firefighter Santa over here. And then there's another picture of the family from another Christmas. There's the Biloxi Lighthouse. So just a big mixture of ornaments. Throwing in that local flavor with the family and the traditional and some just fun ornaments here and there. Really makes this tree special and really is about us as a family. And the angel on top belonged to my step-grandmother, and she loved angels. I loved angels. It was something we really bonded over. We both had a collection of them, and I inherited this when she passed away. So it's very special to me, and she tops my tree. Here is my blow mold Santa in my kitchen that you saw on the 12 days of Kitschmas. And some of my salt and pepper shakers. I got the snowmen at the bins a couple weeks ago, so they totally filled out my collection there. And the little snowmen at the bottom are supposed to be my kids, but here's a glimpse of the tree as the sun started to go down and how pretty it was. And then this is where we hang our stockings. We live in the deep south, so we don't have fireplaces. So they are hung on the china cabinet. There is a giant picture of Jolly Santa. I picked that up at Kirkland's probably about 5 years ago and put him up. But we have needlepoint stockings. It's a tradition in my family. Look at that face, you guys. He is so cute. I just love that picture. It reminds me of the old Coca-Cola Santas. My kids' pictures hold their stockings. And then there's some more of those wooden ornaments from Argentina. These actually are supposed to hang on the wall, but I like to just put them up on display. These vintage Santa candles have never been burned. They actually belong to my great-grandmother. There are 2 of them, and I don't know how they never melted, but they are so cute. So I will never light them. They will just go out on display. But super cute and special to me. And now we are in the living room, and you get to see my shadow box shelf and all the special little treats on it. Starting off with these little angels. They are worn and distressed and absolutely perfect. They belong to my great-grandmother. They were probably from a 5 and dime store. You can also see my winking Santa mugs and the mercury glass ornaments, and also the knee hugger elves and snow babies that I talked about on the 12 days of Kitschmas. So if you haven't seen those videos, be sure to go get a history lesson on where these ornaments came from, or these collectibles. And then I'm going to show you these little bell ornaments up here. These are actually handmade. They are paper mache made out of old newspaper and aluminum foil. They're from during World War II, when metal was scarce. People would make their own Christmas ornaments, and I no longer hang these on the tree because they're so delicate, but I do like to put them out. I love them just the way they are. You can see some more of my bottle brush trees that were talked about on the 12 days of Kitschmas. And then the Sweet Carolers, they used to be actually a set of 3. They belonged to my grandmother, but one of them got broke. I still have her, but her hands broke. But they were made in Japan. They're probably from the 50s. They came from a 5 and dime store. You can see the 10-cent tag. Murphy's. I don't know what Murphy's was, but I like to keep those sort of things on there. These little snow globes with my kids in them and the vintage inspired fawns. I picked those up last year at Target. And the fa la 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 sign I got at Hobby Lobby this year, but that is my little shelf there. I painted this Santa. I went to one of those painting classes with my mom, but I didn't follow any of the rules, so I painted my own Santa. And then these cute little babies are actually some Lefton little angels or cherubs, and they're playing instruments. They belonged to my grandmother, but they're super cute, and I just love them with the little holly in their hair and their sweet little faces. Please forgive me, but I totally forgot to record the front yard with all the blow molds lit up. These pictures are from several years ago, but they give you an idea of what they look like when they are all aglow. We do have a lot more blow molds now, although we did have one casualty this year. We had a bad windstorm, and one of my Santas lost his head. So I will be looking for a replacement for him for next year. And then here is my manger scene all done up with the manger built around it to give you an idea of what that looks like. And now I share with you Christmases of the past, including some of our Mad Men or vintage inspired Christmas parties that we hold. I hope that you enjoy this look back at some of the decorations that I no longer have. and how I used to decorate in previous years. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed seeing my Christmas decorations, and I can't wait till next year when we get to do it all over again. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing. I and my team here at Super Geeked have so many fun and exciting things planned for this year, and we can't wait to share them with you. Thank you again for supporting us, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up on the way out, and I will see you next time. Bye!